So hi everyone, thank you all so much for joining us today for our virtual webinar, Transfer Connections, hosted by the UC Davis Transfer Opportunity Program. My name is Sergio Maravilla. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm an Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions with the Transfer Opportunity Program. Today, we'll be going over some very high quality things for you all today and hearing from a variety of our campus partners. So first, we'll start off with an overview for some of our transfer connections at UC Davis. We'll be hearing today from the Transfer and Reentry Center, the Veteran Success Center, and then also the Student Parent Resources at UC Davis. After all of our presentations, they will then open it up for a student panel and a Q&A section. And then lastly, we'll have some ways for y'all to stay connected with us, to stay engaged, and know where to, who to contact for any follow-up question that you may have. Before I throw it over to our first presenter, some housekeeping items. Number one, this is a webinar. So that basically means that you all can see our beautiful faces. However, we cannot see you. This event is also being recorded as well. So all of our recordings with the Transfer Opportunity Program, all of our previous webinars, all of our future webinars will be posted on our UC Davis Top YouTube channel. So if you want to hear about any of these wonderful resources once again, or have any questions about any of the information shared, you'll all be able to access that virtual webinar on our YouTube channel as well. And then lastly, please note, this is our Transfer Connections webinar, which aims to connect you all with resources on our campus and hear from student experiences. Today, we will not be going over any specific transfer admission requirements for UC Davis, nor going over any admitted student next steps. If you have any questions about the transfer process or your next steps as an admitted student, please connect with your UC Davis top advisor like myself, or schedule a virtual transfer advising appointment on our UC Davis top website. All right. So with that being said, I'll throw it over to our Transfer and Reentry Center to do our presentation. All right, go ahead.
I think if we want to go back a couple of slides to the beginning, even though Dutton Hall is very beautiful. But hello everyone, I'm Marissa Weiss. She, they pronouns work for me, and transfer retention specialist over at the Transfer and Reentry Center. And yeah, I've been here for 5 years, originally from the East Coast. Yeah, been thoroughly enjoying my time at UC Davis, and transfer students are the best. Sorry, first year folks. It's really, transfers are where it's at. You've, lived more life. You're usually a bit more focused in what you're doing, and it's a pleasure to work with you. So yeah, if we want to get going on the slides, we can go to the next one. So just an overview, even though I'm still updating some of the numbers, it's pretty accurate, average. We usually have around 7,000 transfer students at any time at UC Davis, and then have a class of somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 of incoming transfers. The average age of transfers at UC Davis is usually 23, and yeah, pretty big age range, anyone from folks who, were able to finish high school early and go to the community college, all the way up to folks who, may have started at one point and late in life they decided, you know what, I never finished my degree, now's the time. And the Transfer and Reentry Center serves all of these folks. So if you're, as most are coming from a California community college, we do get some folks who come from another UC, and then folks who may come from a CSU or a school outside of California. So in terms of the most folks who come, these are not in order of most sending, but the top 5 usually hovered around Diablo Valley, De Anza, Sac City, American River, and Sierra. But of course, we get folks from throughout the state, definitely from SoCal as well. So you're in good company wherever you're coming from. And then the percentages kind of mirror what the overall student population. with most students being in letters and science, and then next being A and ES's ag and environmental sciences, and then biological sciences, and then engineering. We'll keep going. So right, this is our lovely building and space. So the Transfer and Reentry Center is located in Dutton Hall. Dutton also has the registrar, financial aid, um, trio programs, Office of Student Support and Judicial Affairs. There's a lot that goes on in Dutton, but we're located on the first floor. And yeah, we have some nice spaces within. There's a quiet study space, that top left picture. We also have lots of expo markers, so you can, draw out your equations or pictures or whatever is making you happy. Then we do have another study space that if you need to use a computer, we have a few out there, or if you just want that kind of desk space. And then a friendly break room, you can see in the bottom right, someone eating. um, People do come and have their lunch there. There's a fridge, a microwave, water dispenser. Tuesdays we have coffee. So a friendly place to come and eat and relax. Go to the next. All right. And then our main area is our lounge space. And actually we need to refresh our photos a little because we've rearranged a bit. But yeah, there's some study space where people usually set up their laptops and be doing their studying, and then couch space where people are relaxing, chatting with other folks. So people there, we have some people who come every day, some who come, once a week or so, and then some who just, maybe float in for events. Um, but it's a nice space to be able to spend time at, especially, if you have time between classes or if you're a commuting student. Um, and right, you don't have a space to go back to in between, you're welcome to hang out at the Transfer and Reentry Center. All right, so our staff. So we have career staff. You'll hear from Hope in a little bit about Veterans Success Center. Um, but Hope is our director over Veteran and Transfer Services. And then Dasha, the next over, with the beautiful red hair. Dasha is our transfer coordinator who oversees our peer staff and also the support for the overall transfer population. And then me, who I work predominantly with reentry students, which we include as students who are 25 and older, returning after a break, student parents, and students who are caregivers, and also folks who are married and partnered. And then next to me, there is Jenna, our amazing administrative coordinator. And then in the bottom row, on the left is Tracy Thomas, who's our associated can counselor. So she's a therapist, and yeah, we're so fortunate to have a direct link to Tracy. So if you come in and sometimes you need a little extra support, someone to be able to listen and to help guide, and we're able to connect you directly to Tracy to find some help. And then next to Tracy is Madeline Thompson, who is our C Campus Childcare Access Means Parents in School student parent mentor. So she works particularly with our student parent population. And then we have fantastic peers. So from left to right, we have Sierra, Brenda, Emmy, and Antonio. Brenda and Emmy are graduating. Congrats to them. We will miss them dearly. But Sierra and Antonio are going to continue into next year. So if you come to UC Davis next year, you will see them at our desk. A wealth of information. They do a great job of sharing the student perspective and then also planning programs in our space. Don't want to go too much. I don't remember what time I have until, so you can let me know, Sergio, if I need to hurry up or not. Um, so some transfer specific programs, we have scholarships specifically for transfer and reentry students. We usually open the application around June 1st, and we notify all on incoming and current transfer students, to let them know that they can apply. It's a really nice feature. Um, so social events, we went, what did we do? We took a group of students rock climbing. We went to the Raptor Center. We've taught people how to cook. So a whole bunch of programs specifically for reentry folks. We have done a fall welcome and we're transitioning it into more of like an open house, but at the beginning of the fall to really help get you situated and introduce you to the center. Um, yeah, we do a weekly newsletter called the Weekly Brief. Very popular. Our peers put it together, so it usually has some good humor to it and a listing of upcoming events. Um, yeah, then we can keep going. And in terms of, so as I mentioned, reentry folks, that older, wiser learners with the OWL, we have a student associated student organization that it varies in its level of activity. Sometimes they're really active and sometimes it's a little quieter. Um, but as I mentioned, 25 and older, folks who are married, partnered, student parents, folks coming back from a break, or people who are caregiving. So we can go next. And some specific programs for these folks, we do have priority registration for parents and caregivers. As I mentioned before, the scholarships. We have run a supplemental reentry orientation, like a half day, just either via Zoom or in person to have some extra networking opportunities so folks don't feel like they're the only older folks out there, because there are there is a community, so you're not alone and we want people to be connected. And then really probably our signature program is the reentry retreat, which happens each January, where we get a group of usually around 60 or so reentry students to spend a day together doing some professional development, networking, um, eating free food, doing activities, and just enjoying the day. Go to the next. And then, right, so events we've done, people like arts and crafts, right? We've painted pumpkins, we've done Valentine's. We also try to get you in touch with opportunities on campus, that we've done some great collaborations with the Career Center, undergraduate research, as well as study abroad. And go to the next. And then, as I mentioned, that's an example of our weekly brief. That there's always a meme and then usually some other fun info. And go to the next. And then, yeah, come and visit. Even if you're on campus, even if you're not a student yet, come on in. We can give you a tour, answer your questions, and just be a friendly face here for you. That's what I got.
Thank you so much, Marissa. Very
Hmm.
high quality information about a space that many of our, hopefully either prospective or admitted, might visit whenever they do come to campus. So now we're going to transition over to our Veteran Success Center, where we'll hear from Hope.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Hope Medina, and I'm the Director of Transfer and Veteran Services. So as Marissa pointed out, I oversee both our Veteran Success Center and our Transfer and Reentry Center. So some of the information is going to overlap. Some of the people are going to overlap as well. But that's a good thing. We have a tight connection between both centers. So who is the Veteran Success Center? Who makes up the Veteran Success Center? And the Veteran Success Center is, next slide, please, is our veteran and military affiliated students at UC Davis. And that includes both dependents, those who are spouses, partners, or children of veterans, as well as those who have served and are coming to UC Davis to continue their education. So just a little bit about who we serve and who our population is. This past year, we've served 147 veterans, 637 dependents, and 16 active duty. So we have a big population. nearly 1,000 folks throughout, with our biggest population being our military affiliated, most specifically our dependents, but a healthy number of veterans as well. And then if you decide to come to UC Davis and use any benefits that you are entitled to, your VA or California educational benefits, you will be using one of the 4 that are listed there. The Chapter 31, Chapter 35, 1606, or the CalVet fee waiver, which the CalVet fee waiver is very popular and used mostly with our dependent population. Our most popular majors of our student body are listed there. And you'll see animal science at the top. And for those who may or may not know, Davis has a very highly ranked, the highest ranked, I think, and well-regarded veterinary school. And so many folks are in animal science as a way to prepare and bridge their undergraduate education with going on to future vet school. You'll also see number 10, wildlife, fish, and conservation biology. Lots of students use it and major in that for similar reasons as well. You'll see number 2 there, which is really interesting, our business administration, online and graduate programs. Up until this year, our graduate school of business, is well ranked and veteran friendly. And that's who comprises that number 2 spot. But Davis has just opened an undergraduate business major that is very popular right now and sure to be very popular in the future. So imagine that business is going to stay up there near the top as well. And then psychology, of course, on almost any campus, psychology is one of your top majors as well. And then a lot of STEM, English, and human development. So this should look familiar to you. It was very the same folks who were on the Transfer and Reentry Center slide. You have Dasha, Marissa, Jenna, and Tracy Thomas, all very helpful and supportive of the Veteran Success Center. There's a lot of crossover with the staff, and a big part of that is meeting the staff over in the Veteran Success Center and needing their help and expertise, but also because the majority of our veteran population are transfer students. And so it makes perfect sense that there should be a close relationship and an intertwining of the career staff and the Veteran Success Center and the Transfer and Reentry Center. And just to add on to what Marissa pointed out about the wonderful Tracy Thomas, is that students can visit Tracy and it's all confidential. All the counseling is confidential. And you can meet with Tracy on an ongoing basis. So just really helpful person and very supportive and wanting to help students work through any challenges or obstacles that they might be having. This is our peer staff currently. We have Ellie and Ari and Katie. And I've also listed their majors and minors there when appropriate. We have 2 econ majors, which makes things really interesting in the office and what they're working on. And we have a philosophy major. So it's a nice mix of majors. Ellie and Ari are both graduating this year. Katie will as well, but we have her for a little while longer. We're located in the 2nd floor of the Memorial Union. We have some really nice spaces, but what's nice about where we're located is that the Memorial Union actually stands in honor of our veteran population. We have 137 fallen former UC Davis students who passed in battle. And the Memorial Union stands in their honor and for all veterans. And so the space for the Veteran Success Center was established in 2017. And, so we're right there on the 2nd floor in a very visible space for students to access. Continuing on with our spaces, we have our main office, which has our reception area, our peer and career staff, And we also have a very small computer lab of 3 computers where you have access to free printing. Veterans and dependents have access to free printing 10 pages per day. You do front and back, that's 20 pages. So we have students come in every day who print, knowing that they can get their printing for free. We have a study lounge. It's also event space as well. Periodically, we'll use it for events. And we have our kitchen, which has a full refrigerator, a microwave, a Keurig, lockers. Folks even, you can have your lunch there, and folks even study in there as well. You'll notice that I have key coded on both the study lounge and the kitchen. And the reason for that is you need the key code to access either of these spaces. And that's really nice when you think about other spaces on campus. They get filled pretty quickly, particularly around midterm and finals time. And so only those who have the key codes are allowed in these spaces. And so you're able to avoid crowds and impacted areas. So it's one of the things that we're able to offer students. We support our students in a number of different ways. We support mostly around co-curricular support for our veterans and dependents and our military affiliated. And that takes the form of different, takes different forms. One is priority registration for veterans. They get that throughout their time here at UC Davis. Workshops that are driven by what our veteran and dependent communities are interested in. This past year has been a lot of programming around professional development and collaborating with our Career Center on resume writing, networking, and internships, securing an internship and jobs as well. We also are invested in more military and campus, military focused events like our Veterans Week that we have in November, and coming up at the end of May, our Memorial Day commemoration, among others. Also in the spring, we have a big networking event for veterans and our military affiliated, where we invite companies and organizations who are veteran friendly to campus, not to interview, but to mix and mingle over hors d'oeuvres, and spending some time with our veterans and military affiliated. It's very low key, and it's an opportunity for students to meet different organizations that are veteran friendly and see what kind of opportunities are out there as well. We also do our best, and we also make every effort to connect our students and to other campus resources. UC Davis is a very big campus, and so we want to connect you to the resources that you need as soon as possible, or whenever we find out that you need that support. And we also work in collaboration with the Office of the Registrar. One thing to know about UC Davis, and if when you decide to come here, is that the Veteran Success Center is very student facing and student focused, and works in support of students on the holistic level. The Office of the Registrar will be the place that certifies your educational benefits, meaning they are the ones who will sign off and make sure that you are registered in your courses, and you have all the paperwork in order for you to get whatever educational benefits and VA funding that you are entitled to. Building your support network. Regardless of where you attend, where you decide to continue your education, is that one thing that you want to do is build your support network. And that looks a little bit different for everyone. UC Davis, as I mentioned earlier, is a very big campus. I believe we hit 40,000 students this year. And we are what we're called a decentralized campus, meaning that all of our resources are not in one area. You may have to go to different buildings and different locations to access those resources. So think about what kind of resources you use now at your current level of education and where you're at your current institution, and think about if you'll need those same resources when you come to UC Davis, and make those connections early. And so there's a list here, a stepping stone of just a sample of what that could look like. Being in touch with the registrar, the Transfer and Reentry Center. Are you a student parent? So you'd want to connect with Marissa and student parent resources, success coaching and learning strategies, first year Aggie Connections, which are small seminar courses that sort of shrink the university. They're very cohort based. Some are for units, most aren't, and they're built around an area of interest like photography or hiking. And then the Aggie Compass Basic Needs Center. So here you'll find our resources, the different resources that I just mentioned there, just outlined here so you can see, and they're also embedded links so you can have access to that. But as long as you have access to this PowerPoint, then you'll know that these resources are. And finally, how can you contact and connect with the VSC? You can come and visit us at the Memorial Union. We always love to have visitors and have take folks on tours if we can of our spaces. Right now, our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Fridays from 12 to 4 p.m. And in the summer, our hours do shift. We do adjust them for summer hours. There is our phone number and our email address. So we hope to see you. Thank you for your time.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Hope. Definitely high quality information about the Veteran Success Center, and plus a little nuggets of other Davis resources I think our students will also appreciate. So now on to our last presentation of today. Now we'll hear from our student parent resources at Davis.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Janet Robles Nava, and my pronouns are she, her. Those work for me. And I am an intern at the Transfer and Reentry Center, and I'm also a student parent and a reentry student. So we want to aim for everyone to transfer with confidence, and part of that transfer group is student parents. We can go to the next slide. A brief overview is that there are 1,000 student parents currently attending UC Davis, including myself. The student parent resources aim to streamline support and advocacy efforts for pregnant and parenting students. Next slide. Some of the resources we have for student parents here at UC Davis are Childhood Lab School and C Campus, which means childcare access means parents in school. Also, babysitter directories, June Care, and Urban Sitter. Some of those important links will be sent occasionally by our wonderful transfer and retention specialist, Marissa Wise. And student parents at UC Davis also get priority registration, which can be very helpful in getting the classes you need. And for the student parent resources, they also work very closely with the Women's Resources and Research Center, along with the Transfer and Reentry Center. And all of the resources for student parents are mainly located at the Transfer and Reentry Center. So next slide, please. So for student parents, there are a lot of events geared towards you and your children. Some of these events can include family dinners and potlucks, which are usually included in most of the events. Some of the events that we have had in the past are back to school bash, kids to campus, student parents graduation, and a lot more throughout the year. And these are events that are constantly happening in order for you to network and enjoy sharing time with your kids and other peers. So next slide. So here at UC Davis, we have a wealth of financial support for our student parents. Some of these resources include the Student with Dependent Children grant for Cal Grant for the recipients. This is for undergraduate students only. The child care grant offered by the C Campus and Work Life. Also the Student Parent Diaper Closet and Aggie Campus, and the Student Parent Support Fund. One thing that's not mentioned here is there's also some resources at the Aggie Pantry. Next slide, please. So for the on-campus student family housing and child development centers, we have quite a few here at UC Davis. Most of these are located in campus or very near to campus. to Central Campus, sorry. Some of these include Orchard Park Apartments, Primero Grove Apartments, Russell Park, and Sol at the West Village. And there's also 4 child development centers located very, very closely to Central Campus. Next slide, please. So please stay connected with the UC Davis student parent resources if you need them. The link is included there, and also you can contact us via email. And you can also subscribe to our parent newsletter via the QR code. And that is it for my presentation. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Janet. And I guess you can keep your camera on for our student panel. So yeah, I'll also stop sharing my screen real quick. All right. So we just heard from a lot of high quality centers, resources, and programs on the UC Davis campus. I'm sure you all have a million questions, and I do not think I shared this before, but if you do have any questions, please, please, please use that Q&A box found at the bottom of your screen. I see a couple people already asking questions about priority registration, as well as some admission related questions as well. Now we're going to transition over to our student panel. So I'm also going to encourage you all, if you have any questions for current students, if you have any questions about students who utilize these kind of resources, please, please, please drop them in the chat. Now is your time to do so. But to get the ball rolling, we have some pre-made questions I'm going to ask you all to start off with. So we'll start off with a very basic question. Can you all please introduce yourself for all of our lovely listeners, including maybe your name, your pronouns, your major, and maybe the community college that you transferred from? Let's start off with Lydia.
Hey all, my name is Lydia Albright. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a 4th-year transfer student. I'm majoring in statistics with data science emphasis and minoring in tech management. I transferred from Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill in Bay Area in fall 2023.
Awesome. Thank you, Lydia. You want to popcorn it to somebody? Or I see Ellie's also. Go ahead, Ellie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ellie. I use she, her pronouns. I transferred to Davis in fall 2023, and I'm currently a 4th-year communications major, education minor, and I transferred from Cañada College in Redwood City to UC Santa Cruz, and then transferred from UC Santa Cruz to UC Davis.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Prabha Ikanayaka, she, her pronouns, and I'm a student parent and transfer student from Woodland Community College. And this is my last quarter. I'm a organizational study major. Yeah, welcome all.
And then Janet, I know we already heard an intro, but you want to go ahead again?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Janet Reles Nava. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a student parent and a reentry student. I got admitted to UC Davis back in 2016, and then late 2018, I decided to withdraw and came back January of 2024. And my experience with Davis has been amazing.
Okay, sweet. Well, thank you all so much for that, brief introduction. The next question is gonna, get our listeners to know you a little bit better. So if I can ask you all, please, to share a little bit about what takes up your time outside the classroom. Do you work? Do you have an internship, or are you part of clubs? Any family responsibilities? Any personal hobbies? Just let us know what takes up your time outside the classroom. And Lydia, I'm gonna throw it back over to you.
All right, cool. So yeah, likely I've been involved in a few areas on campus. I work as a student outreach ambassador for the Transfer Opportunity Program through the undergraduate admissions, where I support other students, transfer students like here. I'm also involved in research as MERP scholar with the undergraduate research program, which has been a great way to grow academically for me. And my research looks at STEM students on academic probation, specifically here at UC Davis. Outside of that, I'm part of the Data Science Club, and I serve as a social media director for the East African Student Association here at UC Davis. And also being involved in different communities has helped me feel more connected and really made my time here at UC Davis meaningful. I'll pass it to Ellie.
Amazing. Okay. So while here at Davis, I am part of Hillel, which is an organization for Jewish students on campus. I'm currently the co-president of Hillel Student Board. I also work for the Transfer Opportunity Program as a student outreach ambassador, just like Lydia. And I think that's really sort of the extent of my on-campus involvement, but being in those two groups has really allowed me to find friends and going to orientation as well. Transfers get 3 days of orientation in the beginning of the year. That's where I found my friends as well, because there was networking events. And I just spend the rest of my time with my friends, and that's been really nice too. I found a great community here at Davis.
I can go next. As a student parents, I have really limited time to do extra thing, like events or anything. But I always love to do volunteering with my teen daughter. So I do help with YOLO Food Bank, distribution, or any other event if I see. Also, I always love to volunteer for TRC, and my daughter too. So when I see something like, yeah, they need help, I would love to help TRC for events. And other than that, I started my internship at TRC in this quarter. I wish I started this a little bit earlier, but yeah, I'm doing my internship at TRC in this quarter.
I can go next. Much like Prabha, my time as a student parent is very limited. However, I try to make the most out of it. I do volunteer at different events offered by the TRC, and I'm also an intern of the TRC. Much like Prabha, I wish I would have done this much earlier to have an amazing network experience. Prior to becoming a student parent at UC Davis, during my first 2 years, I did a lot of research and affiliation clubs. So what I can tell you is that you will find a place here at UC Davis, and you will find something that you can affiliate to, and everybody's very welcoming to you and whatever is it that you like.
Awesome. Thanks y'all so much. Hopefully that provides some solid background for our listeners about who exactly is part of this panel. The next question is a little bit more technical. We've heard from all these amazing resources, all these different programs, right? So I'm just curious for y'all's experience, how has UC Davis resources or programs helped you out, either with your academic goals, your personal goals, professional goals? Basically, how has UC Davis helped you out in your own stuff?
Am I still going first?
Why not?
So I would say UC Davis resources have helped me a lot in my journey, especially the undergraduate research center. As I mentioned earlier, I was able to do a research as member scholar and present at conferences like ERSCA, SOTO, NSF Camp Symposium. And ERSCA has actually just happened last week. It was its 36th annual conference hosted here at UC Davis. And it is a really great experience to present my research and connect with other students and practice my public speaking skills. And also, I've had a chance to attend SACNES through Undergraduate Research Center, which is also amazing. It is not just about grad school where you will find connection there. It's also about finding internships, research opportunities, or just getting inspired by hearing other people's stories which have been going through universities, who have done PhD or things like that. And also, going to SACNES also helped me with meeting other grad programs advisors, which opened another eye for me to look into different paths rather than just career, also focus into grad school. But yeah.
I would say working this job has actually been an amazing resource just as a transfer student. I know our goal and mission is we support community college students in their transfer journey, but just working here, working at this job, which you can apply for as a transfer yourself, has taught me more about all the campus resources that are available because you really learn the campus, you learn how to give a tour. So I would always say, "Oh, I don't really know my way around campus." And then I got this job and I was like, I had to learn my way around campus because I'm giving out tours for people. And now I think I know it really well. So I say this job is an underrated resource at UC Davis. And again, I would say orientation was one of the best resources as well because it sort of made me get to know the campus, got to know the community, and you get to do networking events with people from your major, people from your college. So you get to meet the people that you'll see in class. And finally, another great resource is ask the people around you because the students at Davis are really friendly, are really helpful. You can be sitting next to someone in class and be like, I just transferred here. Is there anywhere like good to eat? Is there any good study spots? And people will be like, oh my God, welcome. Let me show you this place. Let me show you that. Have you tried Guad's tacos yet? Like it's a really welcoming and friendly community.
Yeah, I can go next. I would like to share tutoring service and library, like because most of students they don't like really use the library. I feel like, especially when it's come to final papers or midterm papers, if you go and ask help, they really help you to find papers, like do a better paper. Like you might be able to find, but this is like they are like well known, like which papers like yeah, we always I always use from my first quarter to like this quarter, I always use tutoring service and the library. So it's something like really helpful resources I can share with you.
I have found that there's a lot of great resources at UC Davis, but one of my personal favorites is obviously the TRC. That's why I'm interning for them. If it wouldn't have been for the people at the TRC, like Marissa and Madeline, who mentor me, I honestly feel like I would not be here today and they would not have facilitated this for me. As a student parent, I feel like this time around, I am much more equipped to do my academic work and also being involved at UC Davis. And also my peers have been really influential. Like Ellie said, people here at UC Davis are really, really nice, which is a reason why I decided to come to Davis versus other schools in California. The culture is amazing and also the dynamic.
I love it. Library, tutoring, undergraduate research center, TRC, orientation. Yeah, I'm seeing like a common through line for the academic support as well as the community support. So if any of our listeners are looking for that at Davis, just know that we have it and we have some lived experiences to share about it. So thank you all for sharing that. Going on to the next question. Let's talk about it. What has been your favorite thing and or memory at UC Davis? And I'm sure there's a lot, but if y'all can just share one, your favorite memory or like your favorite thing about UC Davis that you want our listeners to know about, we'd be very, very eager to hear what y'all have to say.
I can go first. Because we did like TRC, we did like I mean, I was here 2 years almost. So I attended both like two retreats for retreat events. Yeah, so it was fantastic. And I got to meet lots of new friends. Like last year, I got a chance to meet senior students, and this year, like I got new students. Like, so it was so amazing. And it's a bit like connecting dot, I can say, because I found like early senior student and upcoming student. It's helped me like develop networking and find out other resources from them. So it's something really memorable for me. Like it stay forever because it went really well. And I was a volunteer for that event too. So yeah, with my daughter, it's like it's memorable thing for me.
I love that. Any retreat sounds like a very fun time. Thank you for sharing that. Other favorite memories?
I'll go second. I enjoy going second nowadays. I would say my favorite memory would be just exploring the campus. There's a lot of really hidden spots. If you kind of cut through buildings, there's a lot of just gardens and green areas that you'll see, like, and even in the middle of parking lots and things like that. So there's this one little hidden garden with these giant yellow chairs. It's behind the landscape architecture hunt hall. If you go around the back, and you only find it if you're trying to like cut through buildings as a shortcut, you know? And I discovered it one night, late at night, trying to walk back to my friend's car. And we were like, we have to check this out during the day. And we call it the Secret Garden, and it's gorgeous and lovely. So I just have favorite memories are just idyllic moments there and studying there.
I can go third. Mine is walking downtown nighttime. It's really nice. And especially the Davis Creamery, having the Davis Creamery is so wonderful. I enjoy that every night. Yes.
I can go next. One of my favorite memories at UC Davis was back in, well, it's a little bit of an ancient memory. I believe back in 2017, when UC Davis was in the March Madness, there was a basketball game and there was a huge TV media there, like ESPN Sports and amongst more, but the one I remember the most is ESPN. And they had a lot of great merch and they were giving away gift cards and the vibe and ambiance was amazing. When UC Davis scored, you would turn to the person next to you, and if you didn't know it, you would jump together and be very prideful about your school. So that was definitely one of the highlight memories for me for UC Davis.
Amazing. Y'all making me miss Davis right now. Honestly, gotta go jump into those memories real quick. All right. So thanks y'all for sharing that. I do want to answer some of the questions in the chat. It seems like there's some questions about priority registration. So this might be a student parent kind of question. Janet, Prabha, do y'all have priority registration right now? Do y'all know anyone who has priority registration? What's that process like?
Yeah, I know for this, sorry.
Probably you
Okay,
can go.
yeah, for the student parents, we get priority registration. So we get an email from Miss Marissa. So I always check TRC email so that way I know, okay, this is the day, like, so you get update. It's for the student parents, I know.
I believe for priority registration, it applies for students who are caregivers and parents and obviously other excruciating circumstances. And I did get sent a one-time link. I filled it out, and ever since it has granted me priority registration because I'm registered as a student parent for UC Davis. However, you can go to the OUR registration site and just do a quick Google search of who qualifies for priority registration. Because I don't believe all transferring and continuing students qualify, but like I said, maybe you can find out some more information on that page.
Yeah, very, very helpful. Priority registration is definitely a nice thing to have. And if anyone has any difficulty with that, definitely reach out to your UC Davis top advisor. Maybe I'll have one of our SOAs drop that, how to connect with our advisors in the chat. Because we can also connect you to any campus resources, such as the Office of University Registrar, student parent resources, and things like that. So one-stop shop if you don't know where to go. All right, thank you, Janet. Thank you, Prabha. So let's see some other questions that are being asked in the chat. And once again, if you have any admission related questions, definitely connect with the UC Davis top advisor, because I can get kind of nitty gritty in those details. I think there's some questions about housing. So this might be different depending if you are a student parent or if you choose to live on campus or not. But can y'all share with us a little bit about your housing experience at UC Davis? Do any of y'all live on campus? All right.
Go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a transfer student, which means the UC Davis have a co-opportunity guarantees a housing for transfer students. So yes, I live at the Green West Village for transfer students. It is basically there are three options you can get, whether you want a double bedroom, a single bedroom, or whether you want a studio. Everything is furnished. One thing you have to know is a double is a single bedroom with you share a bedroom with someone else, and the living room, of course, you share it with the other person. A single is you have your own bedroom for yourself, and but depends on which room you choose. You can choose a 4-bedroom single or a 2-bedroom single. If you choose a 4-bedroom single, then you are sharing the living space with other person. If you just 1-bedroom single, then you leave it by yourself. You don't share it with other person. And for a studio, same with it. You just leave it with you live by yourself in your own studio. Another point for a single bedroom is if you choose a single bedroom with 2-bedroom, then you share your living space, but not your bedroom with other person. But yeah, it's really cool. I'd agree.
Okay, sweet. Thank you for that. Yeah, highly recommend it if you have the opportunity / capacity to live on campus. A lot of good resources there. What about living off campus? Do any of y'all commute?
I actually commute an hour and a half to 2 hours every day that I have class. I know it's not feasible for everyone, but for me, it was the best option due to childcare reasons and also money. I do see a couple questions in the chat if there is reduced housing or special parent housing. As I said in my presentation, there is a couple uh, parent housing situations at UC Davis. Also, if you're looking for somewhere cheaper to live, I do recommend Woodland or West Sac. I know it's still going to be a bit of a commute, but those are cheaper options that you have. And yeah, like I said, commuting an hour and a half to 2 hours, I only do it 3, 4 times a week max, and it's been good to me. I listen to music and de-stress and make the best out of it.
So I commute too from Woodland, because I don't want to pay for parking, especially. And yeah, sometimes I have to take 1 hour, like one bus earlier, in case if I miss my bus. But I can come to campus and stay in, I mean, TRC and study, or I can go to library like for that hour. But it's really helpful. I mean, I save money and I focus on study for that specific hour. So I'm super happy, like minimizing like expenses and focusing on study. So I like that. And we have free, it's free for students.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, y'all. So whether you are living on campus or if you're thinking about commuting, just know it is possible, and a lot of our students do it. And definitely reach out to us if you want some insights about living on campus or if you want to learn more about off-campus housing. All right, so let's see. I know you all have access to the questions too. Any that y'all want to answer?
Yeah, I would love to talk about balancing work and school and prioritizing one or the other. I think it is definitely a transition to come into the quarter system, especially if your community college is on the semester system, like mine was. I would recommend with starting out with maybe the minimum amount of classes you need to take to be a full-time student, depending on your personal circumstances, ease into it, and really Google Calendar is your friend. Just check all the syllabi for classes, put schedule time for your readings, for assignments and things, and just use your calendar to schedule your days. The time goes by like that, but it does allow you to take more interesting classes. You get to take more classes than people would on the semester system, and it goes by quickly, so if you don't like a class, it'll be over that much sooner as well.
Thank you, Ellie. Any other questions anyone sees in the chat that they're like, oh,
I can respond to the question where it says just clarify when should I begin my application, specifically tag. And
Mm.
also, I heard the UC Davis announcement admissions are earlier. Is that true? If so, when does this happen? This is a good question. Tag always is submit the application in September. It's between September 1st and to September 30th. And the main UC application is in November, so make sure you know the dates. And yes, if you apply through TAG, then you usually get the admission decision way earlier than March or February or April when the real admission is out, which is, it could be, you might hear on October or November for TAG, whether you get admitted or not. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you, Lydia. And yeah, again, if you have any admissions related questions, definitely connect with your UC Davis top advisor. Prabha?
Yeah, I can see the one question, Jasmine, and yeah, I think. Can we be part of more than one community at UC Davis? Yes, you all can. Yes, yeah. I'm a trio member, and I always get an email from TRC and Menansa. So, like, you can be more than one.
Yes, highly support that. All right. So our time of 6 p.m. is coming very, very close to us. So I do want to ask you all one final question, which might be long, so definitely, be conscious of time. What is one piece of advice you would give either newly admitted students or, students looking to apply to UC Davis? One piece of advice.
One thing I would say is like, I would give a new student is that don't let the imposter syndrome get into you. It's normal to feel like you don't belong sometimes, but if you got into UC Davis, then you do belong here, and don't let anyone make you feel somewhere otherwise. And also another one is try not to compare yourself with others. Everyone's path is always different and focus on your own goals, which is use your own resources around you. There are a lot of resources on campus. So they're free, most of them. So please use them. And there are so many people and programs here to help you also succeed. So make sure you use all the resources and everything you can find here at UC Davis.
I would definitely say meet with your top advisor, like Lydia said, meet with your counselors. And my big piece of advice, just off my own personal experience, make sure you have those 60 units before you transfer. You need 60 semester units or 90 quarter units, which is equivalent to 2 years. If you don't have those, you can get admitted, but your admission can get revoked, if anything, once they check your transcript, or you won't be admitted whatsoever. Please make sure you have those 60 units. And if you fail a class or get a D or an F, retake that class because then that class won't count in your 60 unit total. So avoid DNF grades and get those 60 units.
This is regarding my experience. The first thing I want to tell, like during your first year, if you can decide your minor, because mostly we can do a minor. So if you decide your minor, it's really easy to focus on like minor subjects too during like your first year. And the second one, like when you transfer or when you started during, I mean, in UC Davis, maybe you might feel, okay, I am not good at doing research, or like, nervous, a little bit nervous about doing research. If I mean, you can try, because like this is my last quarter. At this moment, I feel like I have really confidence. Yes, I can do more, like because it's built up during your every quarter. So if you really like to do researches, just focus that too. Don't miss that. It's a great opportunity. So work on that too. Those two, yeah.
My piece of advice would be to be present and be engaged in the sense that you should talk to your peers and talk to your professors, because a lot of the times I know it can be intimidating and you have questions, but they probably have some of the same questions you have. So just talk to them and ask questions, and I promise you will make your experience much better. And another piece of advice that I have is never be afraid to apply for something. Always remember, what's the worst outcome? The answer is no, and then guess what? You can keep applying for the same thing or a different thing, Like I said previously, you will always find a place here at UC Davis, whether it's a research or a club or a student-run clinic, you will find something, and that's it.
So I know we're on a webinar, so I'll give you a round of applause for all of our listeners. Thank you all so much. It is now 6 p.m. So I just want to say to everyone listening, everyone who's stuck with us, thank you so much for your engagement, your attentiveness. We really hope that all the information shared helps you either make your decision to attend UC Davis or helps you with your process in applying. I'm going to share my screen. Please stay connected with us in any way possible. Once again, this session is being hosted by the Transfer Opportunity Program. So if you have any transfer admission related questions, please send us an email, follow us on Instagram, check us out on our YouTube channel, or get in contact with us on our UC Davis top website. Thank you all so much once again, and I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Bye, y'all.